Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. It is a new month, which means it's book haul time. I got a bunch of new romances back in January, plus last month was the month for all of my special editions to arrive, so I have a ton of them to show off in this video. So let's just jump into all of the new books that I got in 2024. I always like starting my book hauls with new arcs that I get, and I got quite a few last month. These are some upcoming 2024 releases, mostly romances, of course. If you do want to know what new releases are coming out this year, I did make a video talking about over 100 2024 releases, so be sure to check out that video. But first up is the upcoming Alison Cochrun book, Here We Go Again. I am very excited about this one. I've really enjoyed all of Alison Cochrun's books that I've read so far, and this one is coming out in April. It's a sapphic romance. It's got a road trip. The main characters are childhood friends turned bitter rivals, and now they're in their 30s working in their small town as teachers at the same school. And one day their beloved English teacher tells them that he only has a few months to live and he wants to go on a road trip with the both of them. So enemies, rivals to lovers, forced proximity with this road trip. They're stuck in a car together. It sounds like so much fun, and I can't wait to read this. Another upcoming romance that I'm excited about is the new Jackie Lau. It's called Love, Lies, and Cherry Pie, and of course it's got this giant slice of cherry pie on the cover. This one isn't out until May, but it is a fake dating romance if you're a fan of that trope. Keep an eye out for this one. The heroine's mother is obsessed with getting her daughter married, and the one man that she wants her daughter to marry is the hero. So to get her mom off her back, the heroine comes up with this fake dating scheme where she will fake date that guy until her mother stops with her meddling. And this one's gonna be interesting. It's The Trail of Lost Hearts by Tracy Garvis Graves. It's been a couple years since Tracy Garvis Graves' last release. I read a couple of her books. She's like hit or miss for me, but I am curious about this one because it's about something called geocaching, which I genuinely don't know what that is. It's the outdoor activity of using GPS to look for hidden objects. So very outdoorsy, which is probably why I don't know it. But both the main characters are geocachers and they end up partnering up on their next trip. So I guess it's like a mix of road tripping and hiking in this one. And the release date is March. And here is The Summer Escape by Jill Shalvis. This one's got enemies to lovers, redemption, missing treasures, and love. Basically, the heroine goes on this wild quest, racing against the hero, trying to prove that her dad is innocent from stealing $1 million necklace. I can't say the cover really gives off that wild quest vibe, but it does sound fun. And this one is a new sci-fi book. It's called Fiasco by Constance Fay. It's book 2 in the Uncharted Heart series. It says on the back, equal parts steamy interstellar romance and sci-fi adventure, Constance Fay's Fiasco is a wild romp amidst the stars. The heroine is a bounty hunter. She runs a whole spaceship, and her next bounty is capturing the hero, but instead of turning him over, they end up growing close. Honestly, it's been a while since the last time I picked up a true sci-fi romance, like not even alien romance, but actually sci-fi, space, stars type of romance. And it does sound like, even though this is book 2, it probably could be read as a standalone. And I got this arc of Triple Sec by TJ Alexander. This one's a much later release. It's not out until June. It's a poly romance, a poly rom-com. The heroine comes across this married couple who are in an open marriage and they invite her in. So that sounds super fun. And also look how cute the chapter headings are here. It's different cocktail drinks to match with the whole cocktail lounge vibe of this book. Here's another June release. This is called Under Your Spell by Laura Wood. The heroine is the daughter of an old rock star, and she's sworn never to date a celebrity, but now she finds herself working for the hottest rock star on the planet right now, and she has to spend 6 weeks alone with him. So if you're a fan of rock star romances, this is gonna be for you. Before we get on with the rest of this video, I wanted to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Pippa Grant, and her brand new rom-com, The Bride's Runaway Billionaire. This new release is about a heroine who barely escapes from marrying the wrong man, and she goes on a solo honeymoon to Fiji. And what happens when you meet up with your billionaire movie star celebrity crush there? You invite him in, spend a night with him, but the next morning he's gone and you don't see him again for another 3 years, which is when he crashes the heroine's brother's wedding. And that's also when he discovers the son that they share, who is the wedding ring bearer. The Bride's Runaway Billionaire is a juicy and swoony rom-com featuring a jaded optimist who's had enough of the limelight, a happy-go-lucky celebrity whose life is turned completely upside down since the fling that he had after his divorce, the most adorable 2-year-old on the planet, and a chicken with an attitude. So be sure to grab your copy on Amazon. You can read it for free on Kindle Unlimited. I'll leave a link to it in my description down below. A big thank you to Pippa Grant for sponsoring today's video. I also got this very nicely wrapped package from Ace, which is like the fantasy imprint from Berkeley. They put this wax seal with their logo on it, and it's a beautiful book. It's an arc of The Night Ends with Fire by K.X. Song. Oh my goodness, I love this cover so much, and this one's not out until July. It's an Asian fantasy inspired by Mulan. The heroine does disguise herself as a man to join the army. There's a prince turned comrade, a war-torn kingdom, and the heroine receives visions of a sea dragon spirit that offers her true power with a deadly price. Oh, and on the back it shows the special first edition printing, which has beautiful end papers and sprayed edges. After Fourth Wing, everyone is doing sprayed edges now. And my latest arc is The Other Side of Disappearing by Kate Claiborne. This book sounds kind of crazy. So it's centered around this podcast about a con man, and the heroine knows exactly who that con man is because her mom ran away with him. So now the heroine's sister is trying to find their missing mom, and the heroine's not about to let her go off alone. So these two sisters go off together along with the podcast host and the producer, who is the hero. So there's 4 people going across the country trying to find these missing people. Okay, moving on to books that publishers sent me. So I got this nice PR package for Gothicana by Rue Nix. Inside is the new hardcover publisher edition of Gothicana with these beautiful purple sprayed edges. I do really like this new cover. I own like 4 editions of this book now, but I have to show you guys what the end papers look like. How nice does this look? It totally matches the gothic romance vibes of this book. It's dark academia. The heroine falls for her professor, and here is what the naked hardcover looks like. So on the front is the stamping of the school. It's Barrymore, and also in the box is this pen rose and a really nice looking bookmark. It's coffin shaped with books and skulls. I'm also so excited about this one. This is A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams. I love this author's writing. I read 7 Days in June and it was incredible. I think there's time travel involved with this one. Kind of like how The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston was kind of time travel related, because it sounds like the hero comes from the 1920s Harlem Renaissance, which honestly sounds like so much fun to read. But the heroine, she comes from this wealthy family, but she's nothing like her socialite sisters. She leaves everything behind to open up a flower shop in Harlem, and that's where she meets this mysterious Harlem Renaissance hero. I also was sent this new publisher edition of All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. It came with this cute little bookmark. It's got roads and aura on it. So yes, this new edition does have the cutesy illustrated cover. It's not my favorite. I mean, the original cover is already so pretty, but I get it. I'm just super happy that Mariana got picked up by a publisher. And if you can believe it, this paperback is 600 pages, but it doesn't look that big. And this is Damaged Goods by LJ Shen. This is the new 4th book in the All Saints High series. It's Best Friends to Lovers. The heroine is a ballerina and the hero is a football player. This one's got a cute punny title. It's called Hedging Your Bets by Jane Denker. It's a small town romance with a plus-sized heroine, and the main characters are new neighbors. The heroine is obsessed with gardening, and the hero accidentally runs over her garden. And here I have the new Amy Lee, The Catch. It's the third book in the influencer series. They're all standalones and I have enjoyed them so far. This one's about a grumpy lobster fisherman who tosses a fashion influencer's impeccably curated life overboard. The hero gets into a boating accident and somehow everyone now thinks that the heroine is his fiance, so they end up faking their engagement for a week. Here is a new Lucy Score book, although it's not technically new, it's a republished book. It's The Worst Best Man. It's a wedding romance. The heroine is the maid of honor and she absolutely hates the hero, who is also part of the wedding party. I got this new Alexis Hall book, Waiting for the Flood. It's an MM romance and it's actually like a 2-in-1 book. So we have Waiting for the Flood and then the next book is Chasing the Light. This one is Say You'll Be Mine by Naina Kumar. It's a fake engagement romance. The heroine has this secret crush on her best friend, but then he ends up getting engaged. And it's not to her. So now she agrees to let her parents matchmake her and they matchmake her with the hero, who reluctantly agrees to the whole matchmaking thing, but he knows he can't offer anything real, so he does offer a fake engagement. I got another Jill Shalvis book. This one is The Bright Spot. It's set in a small town. The heroine just discovers that she has inherited a farm, but she has to share this farm with the hero, who is the very mysterious investment manager. And then this one is a fantasy romance from Razel Lim called Night for Day. It's a second chance romance, also an office romance. The main characters, they reconnect when they are interviewing for a job at the same company. They end up getting opposite shifts, but then the whole fantasy thing is that they get trapped in this building. There's spirits and ghosts and the two of them can only talk to each other for a few minutes right before dawn. It also sounds very unique and I'm very intrigued. And then I got this box from Bloom Books and of course it's for My Fault. They sent me the whole My Fault trilogy by Mercedes Ron. So this one is a romance that originated on Wattpad and it got picked up by a publisher. So book one is My Fault and this one is the one that got adapted into a movie. It's on Amazon Prime, I think. I did watch it and I did like it. It gave off After vibes, but I like this a lot more than After. And then book two is Your Fault. And the third and final book in the trilogy is Our Fault. And the box came with this little bag of popcorn. It's Skinny Pop popcorn and the bag is actually really skinny. I don't think I'll actually read My Fault, the first book, because I already watched the movie and apparently the movie and the book are pretty similar. So if you have watched the movie, you can at least dive into book two. I also got the newest In Death book. It's Random in Death by JD Robb. I love JD Robb, but I am severely behind on this series. I have to check which book this is. Okay, so we're on book 58 now, which holy moly. And then this book has me very curious. So it's Argylle by Ellie Conway, which there's this rumor going on. People believe that Ellie Conway, the author, is a pen name for Taylor Swift, of all people. I don't know how true that is. It probably is not true, but this book did get a movie. It got adapted into a movie before the release date, and the main character is played by Henry Cavill. He's a beautiful man, but I'm not gonna lie, the haircut that he has in this movie is atrocious. So it's like a spy thriller. It's about this train in Moscow and there's a missing treasure, the eighth wonder of the world, lost for 7 decades. I also got this big ol' box from Penguin Random House. It's the Meant to Be series. It's 3 books by 3 different authors. So we have If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy. It's a Cinderella retelling set on this reality show. By the Book by Jasmine Guillory is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. The heroine works at a publishing house and the hero is this beastly high-profile author. And Kiss the Girl by Zoraida Cordova is a Little Mermaid retelling. The heroine is part of this famous band along with her sisters, but lately she has been wanting more, so she decides to disguise herself as a normal merch girl. And she ends up falling for the lead singer of this up-and-coming band. And this last thing that I got from a publisher is another package from Bloom Books. It's a bunch of their new and in upcoming releases. So this one is another Lucy score book. It's The Dead Guy Next Door, which is part of her Riley Thorne series. It's romantic suspense. The heroine's neighbor gets murdered and the hero is the investigator who shows up. And there's A Long Time Coming by Meghan Quinn. This is actually my second copy now of this book, but it's this super adorable friends to lovers romance. The heroine is about to get married to her longtime boyfriend, but this is when the hero, her best friend, finally realizes that he's in love with her and that he's the better man for her. Oh, and this is an arc, this blank arc of The Air He Breathes by Brynne Cherry. This was an indie book that got picked up by Bloom. The whole series got picked up. I read this one ages ago, but I'll be honest, I barely remember it. I think it's a small town romance, but it for sure is super emotional because it is Brynne Cherry. And then this one is Girls with Bad Reputations by Shio Axelrod. It's got this really pretty, colorful cover. The heroine is in a band. She's the drummer and they're going on their first tour. There are a lot of red flags going on though, but she does find a new friend in their tour bus driver. I also got PR packages from some indie authors, and this one is an incredible box from Tessa Hale for Twilight of Embers. So this book is the first book in a new trilogy. It's Why Choose, it's paranormal, it's got dragon shifters. I loved it. I had so much fun with the audiobook. I highly recommend the audiobook because it's got such a great cast of narrators. But okay, so inside this box came a cute little dragon plushie. Like, how perfect is this? A dragon plushie for a dragon shifter romance. It is adorable. There's also this cute little bracelet. It's got one of the heroes' names on it. This one is Maddox, although my personal favorite is Killian. It came with a highlighter and some sticky tabs, and there's also some character tarot cards. So we have the heroine on this one. This is the professor, the tortured hero, the golden retriever, the alpha billionaire, who is also Killian, and the broken boy. And here is the beautiful copy of Twilight of Embers. I really did not expect this to be a hardcover with freaking foil on it and sprayed edges. This book is stunning, honestly. I mean, it's the regular cover, but the colors are so nice, all the purple. And again, look at these sprayed edges. And these are the end papers too. So if you love Why Choose, if you love reverse harem, and you love dragon shifters, you definitely need to pick this one up. But I will say it ends on a cliffhanger, so you might want to wait until the series is done before you read it, unless you don't mind cliffhangers. I'm already super invested, so I am desperate for the second book. Okay, this one's not a PR package, but it is a book from an indie author. It's I Wish You Were Mine by Jessica Peterson, who I have not read before. There are a bunch of goodies inside here though. So we have a bunch of stickers, this classic spicy hashtag, and some character bookmarks. So we have the main characters and the hero's kid. So this is a small town romance with a single dad. The heroine gets hired as his new nanny, but then they end up in bed together and there's an accidental pregnancy. Here's a map of this small town, and also it came with some spicy artwork. Okay, so this side is the safe for work side, and the other side is not so safe, so I will cover up the boob. I definitely did not expect that art print in this book. Here's a box from Lauren Blakely for Thoroughly Pucked, which is her hockey Why Choose romance. Okay, so there's a beanie. It's a hockey beanie. It came with some cute stickers, and here is the book. The heroine is a runaway bride. The two heroes, it's MFM, they are the heroine's brother's hockey player friends, and they sneak her out of the wedding. She decides to go on her honeymoon because it's non-refundable, and she takes the two guys with her. And then this package is from an author who shares the same name as me. It's Lacey Lahotsky. She's a fantasy romance author and her books sound really, really good. So inside we have a t-shirt. It says Team Rustlin', and we have the two books. Okay, so let me unwrap this first one. Ooh, okay, so there's an art print and a bunch of stickers, and this is the book. It's called Chained by Lacey Lahotsky. It's book 1 in the Choice of Light and Dark series, and here is book 2, which also came with an art print. Okay, so book 2 is called Light, and here's the pretty art print with a light and dark bookmark. Look at these covers. They look so pretty. Okay, so it's a dark fantasy romance. The heroine is a princess who was kidnapped at birth. So she grew up as a captive. She was abused her whole life until her 21st birthday when she gets saved by this group of people. So now she has to reclaim her power, reclaim her throne, and it does sound like there is a bit of a love triangle going on. I mean, this t-shirt says Team Wrestling, so he's one of the heroes. But I am really excited to read the series. I'm trying to read more fantasy romances this year because I just haven't been reading them as much. So I really want to get back into it and discover more fantasy romance authors. And then onto some books that I ordered for myself. So this one was part of a Target order because I pre-ordered King of Sloth by Anna Huang for the Target special edition, but I needed like $35 for free shipping, so I included 2 other books. One of them I already returned because it was the wrong cover. It wasn't the cover that I wanted. And then this other one is A Matter of Temptation by Stacey Reed, which I have read and adored. It's a historical romance from her and it was great. My pre-order for the Waterstones edition of Fourth Wing also came in. It's the UK cover, the UK edition, but it has these sprayed edges that match with the second book, which unfortunately the US edition, those sprayed edges do not match, which is really annoying. It also has a map for the end papers. And then I got these 2 books from Book of the Month. I really wanted Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver because of all the good things that I've been hearing for it, and I just wanted a physical copy. It recently did get picked up by a publisher, which is why it's part of Book of the Month. It's a dark romance. It's a serial killer romance between 2 serial killers who become friends. And then I got one of my favorite reads of 2023, Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. Catherine Center is always such a fave. I love her writing so much, and this one got me in my feels. It's also such an interesting premise. Like the heroine, she gets into an accident and she loses the ability to recognize faces. And there is a bit of a love triangle because she can't recognize faces. And here is the final book that I needed in the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. This is Nightfall. This is the last book that I needed with the white cover, I think. Actually, I might still need the novellas. Never mind. But since the whole series got picked up by Berkeley, these white covers are going out of print, so I had to get them before they're not available anymore. And this is the 4th and final book in the series. It's Will and Emery's romance. And now the moment that you've all been waiting for, all of my new pretty special editions. I got quite a few last month. First, I did want to show off some new t-shirts that I got from Mystic Box and the Arcane Society. So I'm wearing one right now. It's like this cool little graphic on it. This one is a Dark Fantasy Readers Club t-shirt, and then this one has the Arcane Society logo. Okay, so first of my special editions is one of my all-time favorite books that I had to get. It's this beautiful special edition of Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. Right now I have it on the reverse side of the desk jacket. It's got the characters on the front and then the sea and ship on the back because it is a dark pirate romance. It is so good. It's a dark pirate historical romance. These are the beautiful sprayed edges. This is the other side of the desk jacket with some pretty gold foiling. And here is the naked hardcover with this pop of blue and some blue foiling too. So it's got the sea on it. Super perfect for a pirate romance. And these are the end papers on the front. It's got the heroine on it and the 2 heroes on the back because it is a bit of a love triangle, kind of. It's such an incredible book. I love this book to death. And then the special edition came with a couple art prints. So this one is art of the heroine. And then we have some very spicy page overlays. I can barely show this one. And here's another one that I ordered. I am obsessed with this edition, but I'm always a fan of character art, like pretty character art on my special editions. I also got a couple boxes from Hello Lovely Box. So this one is their Trope of the Month special edition for January. It's Latte Darling by S.J. Tilley, which I haven't read before, but it's an age gap romance with a silver fox hero. The heroine goes on a dating app, but instead of meeting with her date, she meets with his dad. And then this box is the latest bouquet box featuring like the seasonal author who was Sierra Simone. Some swag bags. So this one is a tote bag, give me romance or give me death. And then here's the smaller makeup bag, which is really cute. Here's a chapstick as well. And this is the Sierra Simone book. So it's a special edition of A Lesson in Thorns. This is what the special edition paperback looks like. So this is the first book in the Thornchapel series, which I still haven't read yet. All I know is that it's poly and gets a little wild. And then in the bouquet box, there's always going to be like a mystery author or two, but this time there's not one, not two, but three extra special editions. The first mystery author is Hale, and this is the special edition of Hollow, which is her latest book, like a Halloween romance. It's based on the legend of Sleepy Hollow, and it is a poly romance. The second mystery author is Alison, and this is the special edition of Thorn. So all the books do have like a similar vibe to the main featured author, and these covers do give off the same vibe as well. It's a dark noodle romance set in college. And then the last mystery author is Dakota Wild, and this is Hell House. This is what the special edition looks like. It's also a dark noodle romance, and it sounds pretty good. It's about two freshman roommates whose dorm gets set on fire, so they have to move in to a frat house, and their new housemates are possessed by the 7 deadly sins. I don't know if they all end up together, but I'm sure they all have fun with each other. And the other Hello Lovely box is for the Wicked trilogy by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So Hello Lovely did a special edition for Wicked, the first book, like ages ago, and they only recently did a pre-order for the rest of the books, or the whole trilogy if you didn't own book 1. I already owned book 1, so I got the next 2 books, and it came with this little mug. It says, "When in doubt, get the fuck out." Here's a pouch with the character names. It's Ivy, Ren, and Tink. Here's a bookmark, a pin with a 4-leaf clover, and a chapstick. And here are the 2 special editions. So book 2 in the Wicked trilogy is Torn, and book 3 is Brave. So it is a new adult fantasy paranormal romance series. It follows the same couple, and it's very classic Jennifer L. Armentrout, if that makes sense. Like, it's super easy to read, really easy to get into. The characters are a little sassy and funny. I do like the series, but it's not a favorite of mine from JLA. I also got some Bookish Box special editions. So this one was my Black Friday order, and it finally arrived. I was able to snag the Bookish Box anthology. This is the first volume that they released like 2 years ago, but it only came in this like $200 box, so I did not get it. Thankfully, they released like their extra books by themselves, so of course I had to get it. And these are the sprayed edges. It's really, really pretty. These are the end papers. It's all wintry, and it's got a bunch of my favorite authors. So we have Karina Halley, Amelie Howard, Anita Kelly, Sophie Lark, Hannah Parker, Devney Perry, Kennedy Ryan, Naima Simone, Sierra Simone, Haley Turner, Olivia Wildenstein, and Harper L. Woods. I read and loved most of these authors, so again, I'm super happy I was able to get this book and not have to pay $200 for it. And then here is their special edition of Fall of Wrath and Ruin by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which was one of my favorite reads from last year. I loved it so much. So here is what the front of the dust jacket looks like, and these are the sprayed edges. The edges do match the other side of the dust jacket a little bit better. So here's what the other side of the dust jacket looks like. We still have some foil going on, but it is dark to match the sprayed edges. And we have some character art on the end papers. There's also a very pretty design on the naked hardcover. So this is the front. Here's the spine with more foiling and the back. And here are some more special editions. So these are from Dark and Quirky. These were from the BookTube box, but I split with someone. I only got the books that I read and loved. So I got these 2. This one is Devil of Dublin by B.B. Easton. This one was Jessica's pick. Jessica from Peace Love Books, and these are the pretty sprayed edges. Here's a look at the end papers, and it also came with this art print, and it's got the same art on an overlay. If you haven't read this, it's a dark romance. It's like a dark Irish mafia romance, and the 2 main characters have known each other since they were kids. And then of course I had to get Kennedy Ryan because I love her so much. So this one was Tori from A Novel Life. This was her pick. It's real, and here is what the special edition looks like. And I don't know if you can tell, but the foil on the title and the words on the back, they are a bit holographic. And here are the sprayed edges. These are the end papers and these are the overlays. I also got this beautiful special edition omnibus of the Bargainer series by Laura Thalassa. I am a Laura Thalassa fangirl, so I pretty much get everything from her, like all her special editions. I get them. So this is what the slipcase looks like. Some pretty foiling on it. On the side it says, "Bargainer, I would like to make a deal," which is like the quote of the series. This is what the actual hardcover looks like. So it's an omnibus, which is the whole series, all 3 books plus the novella in one book, and I just adore the artwork for it so much. All the purple is stunning. I love the holographic foiling. And the back is so nice too, and these are the pretty sprayed edges. These are the end papers. It's a fantasy romance. It's got fae. It's such an addicting series. I love it. And there's also some art prints. Here's some character art of Callie and Des, and here's the spicier version of the same art. And then the last books that I have to share in this haul are books that I just got in the mail, and I am so obsessed with them. If you guys didn't know, I read Manacled by Senlinyu. It's fanfic, it's Dramini fanfic, it's dark, it's so good, and I fell in love with it. But since it's fanfic, you can't actually go out in stores and buy a copy of it. It's only available online for free though, and I just recently got my hands on some hand-bound editions of it. It's 3 volumes because the story is so long. I worked out a trade with a binder for these and they turned out so nice. So I did not buy these. I did not commission them. The author doesn't allow commissions, and you can't buy fanfic. You're legally not supposed to sell it or buy it because the IP does not belong to the binders. But here are my pretty hand-bound editions of Manacled. This is volume 1, the beginning, with the roses and the crane, and there are some gorgeous foiled end papers as well. This is the second volume, the flashbacks. It's got roses and a snake on it, and here are the end papers with some gold foiling, and the third volume, the ending, the skull and rose, and some more foiled end papers. There's also the Avondale artwork that's throughout the fanfic in here. Oh my god, isn't this set so beautiful? The roses on the spine do line up as well. I am so in love with the set, and I'm currently working on some dust jackets to print on my own, or at least print from Staples or something. I'm not much of a designer, but I am having a lot of fun designing these dust jackets to add onto these naked hardcovers. So I can't wait to get them printed and show them off. And that's it for my book haul for January. I got so many pretties, and I know I'm gonna get more questions about where I'm gonna put them. I promise I will make room and put them somewhere. As always, if you've read any of these books, let me know your thoughts, or if you see a pretty special edition that you like, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!